Uh, Back out here getting on the Cutlass again. You seen the last video I made? I got the car running, and oh yeah, by the way, I did cut my hair, as you can see. Anyway, last video, I got the car started, let it run for a little bit. I couldn't run it too long because it didn't have a radiator in it, but these glasses. So, back before winter, I wanted to throw some antifreeze in it, so I went and got a couple gallons of antifreeze. And as I was pouring it in, it was leaking out the bottom of the water pump. So I went and got another water pump, and I'm going to get it powder coated and put it on the car hopefully today. Get the radiator and everything hooked up, and get some antifreeze in it, and then I'm going to move to probably finishing hooking up the floor shifter, and I've still got some bunch of work to do on the floor. I still got to do the passenger side on the floor, and driver's side. I still got I got to weld the brace back in that holds the seat. Uh, yeah. Uh, anyway, I'm gonna get the floor shifter hooked up. Be able to get it running and everything, and then go from there. That way I can be able to pull it in and out of the garage, and uh, whenever I want to work on it, and I've got other cars to work on. I'm gonna get in here and get this water pump taped up, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paint it, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, water pump's painted, ready to install. Didn't turn out too bad. We'll get it put back on there and get it all hooked up, fan mounted, and radiator hooked up, and then I guess they'll move to finishing in this shifter. So yeah. A couple days later, I have to go get some parts and stuff for Cutlass. I got the engine pretty much put back together. I was worried about finding a belt that would bypass the power steering. Luckily I have one that fit, so it could probably use a little tightening. And I went and bought a new battery, not a new battery, a used battery, because all the batteries I got around here are total junk. They're spent, so I spent $30 and only a used one. It's supposed to be a good one, we'll see. We'll get started up, and once I get this cable hooked up here, it's ground cable. One thing I did find out, my ground for my battery, that was ground to the head here. This explains why I had to have a jumper ground over to the fender, because I was not getting no ground off that head at all, because this nut's not tight. This nut just sits there and spins. I can't get it off. It just spins, so I'm going to have to take a Dremel cutoff wheel and probably just cut the damn cable off there. This right here is just one I had bolted to the body. Eventually I've got a relocation kit for the battery, so I'm going to start after I get a few things done here. I want to go back here to the trunk. I got a new battery box. Here's a kit that I got from either Summit or Jags. I don't remember. It's been a while since I bought it.
good off there. Alright. So it come with, you know, new cables, new ground. They're all, you know, heavy duty, man. I'm not sure that my battery is going to fit in this box. And I'm also missing a few pieces here. So there's a big nut that fucking goes to something. I have no idea. So I don't think my batteries are going to fit in that box, which is okay because I really don't care about using that box anyway. I think what I'm going to do is, there's some of my body bushings I was looking for. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build a brace along here. You know, come over with it with some angle iron for the batteries sit down on, and then I'll drill a couple holes and I'll run these threaded pieces through it, and then put the strap over the battery. That ought to hold it pretty good. I'm just deciding on where I'm going to drill to run my cables out. If I should drill on this side here, or if I should drill on this side here. I think I should drill on this side here and then run them up that side of the frame. The left side of the frame. Because I ain't going to have no gas tank anyway. Going to put a fuel cell back here. I think I'm going to get one of them boat fuel cells. I have to look online, see if I can find one. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing with the battery. Right now, I've got charger on this one. I've got to hook this ground cable up. This is the new ground. I've got it run down here, and I was going to bolt it to this bracket right here on the body. So what I need to do is I need to go in here and get a little metal clip, bolt that up, and like I said, I got the radiator and everything put back together, fans on, I've got water in it. After I put that fuel pump on, I checked to make sure there wasn't no leaks or nothing. I mean, water pump, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying fuel pump. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and get this cable on and see if we can't get her to fire up. Let's sit here and run a little bit. Well, she's running. I walked over here so you can be able to hear me. She's running, but she's not running very good. I think I got a bad carburetor. I gunned it and opened up the 4-barrel on it. It's popping and shit. Now, when I did that, now it's, well, you can hear it. So, I'm just gonna let it sit there, warm up, make sure it's charging and everything. Make sure it don't overheat shit, and I'm going to get to finishing that floor stitcher up, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get at that now. Okay, well, she's running. I mean, she ain't running the best, but right now at the moment she's running, so got one of them quadro junks on there. Y'all know how them are. I rebuilt that carburetor a couple years back. Really, I'm not even for sure if that's what the fucking problem is. I don't know if it sucks a bunch of fucking dirt down in there or what. Excuse my language for all you kiddies out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave that alone for the meantime, and I'm gonna finish hooking this shifter up. Problem I got with it, you can see where I scragged the line. Alright, well, I can't go past that line with this cable without having to cut into the console, because the console stops right here. So there's no way that I can really bend that cable. I'll wind up kinking is what I'll do if I do that. So I'm thinking about, I guess let's go ahead and file out a hole big enough to where that will slide under the console piece, and maybe I'll just drill a hole right there. And also, you know, this has got to go through your floor, so you're going to have to, you know, drill a big enough hole for that to fit through your floor. So what I'll do is, once I get the cable in there, I got some tire patches. I'll put a tire patch across there wherever it goes, you know, the cable goes in, and just put a little hole in the center of it, run the cable through it, and then I'll take some either some metal screws or some rivets and rivet around that, and that way I ain't got no air or anything from underneath the car flying up, you know, and rusting shit out, you know. And then you got the bare metal there cutting into your cable and all that shit. So I've got to do that still. I've got a few places I've got to finish on this floor pan here. You can see I ain't messed with it in a while. I'm on surface rust. Just surface rust from where it's been sitting. I still got some tacking to do on it, and then I got to put the brace back in. They come off right here. Put it back in so I can mount the seat back in, and then I can pull her up into the garage. So right now, let's get at this floor shifter and get it finished up, and that'll probably be it for me for today. And I'll get back at her on it tomorrow. So I'll see you in a few. Okay, I got this shifter hooked up now. I'm missing some of my screws, but I did manage to get the cable to go through. Well, if I can show you here, I didn't have to drill past the line. I actually got it like right there on the edge of the line. So, you know, one thing I didn't realize is that you had to loop the cable above the transmission to attach it. See if you can see anything underneath there. You can see where I put on the bracket, and I got the cable ran and everything. What I'm going to do is I want to hook this into the existing column, so I don't have to use let me think here. So I don't have to use the reverse light switch and the other switch, but I did manage to get it. Managed to get it hooked up. So that's one thing that's out of the way. I gotta go buy some screws and shit, and then next thing will be either I'm gonna get back on these floorboards or I'm gonna install the battery inside the trunk. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I did got it to where, oh, I got the battery in hooked. I can't start it because when I was running it the other day, I had fucking oil, I had oil spilling out over here, and where it was spilling from, if you can see that hole right there in front of you, it's got 2 bolts missing. So I might have to move that manifold out the way in order to get them bolts back in there. It was spewing out. That's where your oil filter screws in at. So, and it was just pouring oil out of that. If it wasn't for the old lady, I wouldn't even have seen it. That could be one of the reasons why it was running like it was. But other than that, like I said, I gotta get back on these floors. I am waiting for a new floor brace for the rear end. That's the one I made back when you couldn't buy aftermarket floor support. So I made my own, and now you can get them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna order another one. That way I know it's all right and everything. All this back floorboard right here is probably gonna get cut out, and I'm gonna replace it with sheet metal. I still got to do, I just got that kind of screwed in there for right now. So I gotta go along and tack all that down, trim it up and tack it down, and still a lot to do here. So just got that draining the water out of it, because I didn't know if I had enough antifreeze in tonight. It's supposed to get down to like 29 degrees tonight, and I didn't want it to freeze up, so I drained the water out of the radiator. And by looking at what drained out, it looked like there had any antifreeze in it, but I want to make sure. Last thing I need is this engine freezing up. I did the same thing with the Blazer, because the heater core is leaking in it, and it's just got pure water in it. So I took the bottom radiator hose off, and I drove it around till it started heating up and didn't have any heat or anything anymore. So hopefully I got all the water out of it for tonight. Kind of see the wet spot under there. So I'm gonna count that it for today's video. So if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and yeah, go back and watch some of my other videos. And yeah, that'll be it till next time. I also wanted to tell you that you know, the reason I'm not posting all that much is because I live on a, you know, fixed income, and a lot of times, you know, I've not got the parts. You know, I've got to save up to get a part here and there, stuff like that, and this is the reason it's taken so long to get this car put together. But it's going together a little bit at a time. And go ahead and like and subscribe if you like, you know, if you like my videos and everything, and you know, go ahead and comment if there's anything that you want to see. I'm going to end this video for now. Hopefully I can get back out here in the next few days. It's going to be in the 40s and everything the rest of the week. So, you know, I might try to come out and work on it a little bit. But I really don't care much about working in the cold. It might be a few days till I get back at it. But like I said, if you like my videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and leave your comments. I appreciate it if you leave your smart ass comments to a minimum, and you know, I really, you know, if you got anything smart enough to say, I'd rather you just keep it to yourself. But I'm always up to, you know, to other people's opinions and other people's ideas. You know, if you got any ideas. Another thing, I'm looking for a name for this car. It's an 86 Oldsmobile, and I just ain't quite come up with a good name for it. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to have one of you all pick a name for it. If you pick a name for it and I choose your name for the car, then I'll send you something. I don't know exactly what it would be, but I'll try to send you something nice. So that's pretty much it. Catch you all on the flip side. Bye.